Oh, we have already started. I was just enjoying my favorite Indonesian snack. That's the risoles. I think I'm going to make a lot of people happy with this recipe, so keep watching. Hi everyone, welcome back to Megarasa. I haven't made a video in a long time, but now I'm back and today we are going to make risoles. I really think that's the favorite of a lot of people and also mine, so we are going to start now. I will show you now. Let's see what ingredients we need. First, we are going to make the necessary filling. About 400 grams of chicken breast, approximately 1 medium-sized onion, 3 fresh carrots, a bunch of flat celery, 100 grams of flour, approximately 1 teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of finely ground white pepper, and 1 teaspoon of freshly grated nutmeg, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1 chicken bouillon cube, and then we also have a little bit of oil, and also just a little bit more of that cream. Oh, I almost forgot about that. About approximately 800 ml of water. We are now going to start by boiling the water. First, we need to gather all the necessary ingredients, and then we will proceed to carefully peel the fresh organic carrots that we have selected for this recipe. We will put the chicken in the water and also the carrots, because the carrots need to become a bit softer first, because we are going to make a very delicious filling for the risoles very soon. It will be a kind of savory. The filling is absolutely rich, so it's incredibly delicious and extremely creamy. It's indeed just very, very tasty. I will now carefully peel and chop the onion. And we will cut the onion into very small and evenly cubes. So just peel it away just a bit. Please, if you could kindly do this once more. Again, please. We will need them later. Water is gently boiled, and then we carefully and slowly put the chicken breast into the pot in the boiling water. In the meantime, I will very carefully cut the onion. It doesn't have to be super fine in size or extremely precise in its dimensions or anything like that. Just make sure it is somewhat reasonably small. Cut into smaller, more manageable pieces of the desired size. Small cubes are tiny, three-dimensional geometric shapes with equal sides, often used in various applications. In the meantime, I check on the chicken. It needs to be completely submerged in water. Make a little space. Let's see if my carrot fits in here. I'm just cut the carrot in half, then it fits better in the pan. This one goes in too. I'm just putting it in. And that one too. The carrot takes approximately about 10 minutes or so to a quarter of an hour. Then it becomes soft, and they are quite thick carrots, so that does take some time. And the chicken breast is about 20 minutes to half an hour, and then it's done. Yes, cooked a bit soft. And then we will wait a moment. And in the meantime, I will now go to the cutting celery, actually chopping it carefully and thoroughly. This is about a fresh green vegetable, a bunch of stalks you buy from the market or store. At the supermarket, so I think it's 40 grams, I believe. It's in a bag. I'm just going to chop it finely. The stems can also go in, such as in the mixture, so you can just leave them, for example, if you prefer. Absolutely everything, all the ingredients, carefully into the delicious and savory ragout. I find celery really absolutely and essentially indispensable for chicken croquettes. We're naturally going to make it with chicken. And yes, that celery just gives a whole, yes, how do you say that? A specific flavor for those croquettes. And then it just becomes really delicious. And the aroma, the scent, I also find very pleasant. And then the combination with that nutmeg is just absolutely incredibly tasty and really delicious. And then chop finely and cut finely again. Finally, chop the celery and prepare it for the next step. And then do it again.
Now let's take a closer look at the chicken. Well then, that's good. I will just clean the cutting board a bit. When the carrot is soft, we will take it out, and then we will proceed shortly. Don't cut, but then we will grate. So I have the largest one here, so we will use that. Why am I going to grate that? Because carrot croquettes has a whole soft filling. You make a kind of ragout making the whole. A delicious creamy ragout is made, and then you actually want that when you bite into it. Just really soft, you know. So you don't really have to do much. We'll just say to chew. So that's why we're going to grate it finely, and that the carrot also. It is already soft before it becomes even softer. Before we start cooking. It is now 10 minutes later. We are going to take a look now to poke and see if the carrots are already soft. Let me see. I think, yes, they are nice and soft. Then I'll take the carrots out. And I will let the chicken sit for a while longer. If you have a larger pot, you can simply put the carrots in it, in its entirety. I now just have a small pan, so you just have to cut them small. I will let the chicken sit for a moment, and then I have here chicken bouillon cube, and I put it in. Now, I can say that I already have the delicious and creamy base for my croquettes filling almost ready. I will let them cool down for a moment, and then I will start grating. The carrots have cooled down, and now I will grate them here for a moment. That is of course easier now, because the carrots are already soft. Be careful with the last piece. It's always tricky. I set the large piece aside for a little while longer. And then, after that, they become really nice and soft, just as expected.
All right, so we have just 3 more tasks to complete, and then we are done. When you are grating, you always need to be careful, such as your fingers. Stop in time, that is for sure. Otherwise, accidents will happen. The carrot is indeed simply a very good combination for the ragout because it is inherently natural. It has a slightly sweet taste. And yes, it also has a beautiful orange color. And soon with that fresh celery, it will also look nice and appealing. The eye wants something too, right? As well, the eye wants something right. So let me take a look at the chicken. The chicken is almost ready. So we are going to just take it out in a moment, but be careful not to rush. Now that I'm at it, let me remind you. If you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and press that button to stay updated. Subscribe and also hit that like button. Oh yes, You can also follow me on Instagram, and there I post. I usually just share what I eat daily. And when I have a new video, I will share that too. Posting on stories, a little insightful glimpse into my life, and moments and experiences actually, but mostly about food. All right, if you basically have those small pieces, you can essentially just cut them up simply. The chicken is now ready. Let me take this out. And then I will take the chicken out. It is still warm now. Usually I cut it in half. That way it cools down a bit faster. And we are going to very soon tear apart this chicken into pieces in just a few moments. But you can also go ahead and do it just like I do. A little impatient, then I will start shredding. Of course, you can do it by hand. Or simply just because it is indeed absolutely still really extremely hot. With 2 forks, you can very effortlessly just shred it like this. Sometimes I just cut this in half so that it goes just a little bit more faster. And you will definitely notice that it is perfectly cooked. So in the meantime, I am currently busy shredding. By the way, right now, I have actually seen in my statistics that despite the fact that I post few videos, quite a lot of people still watch my videos. So that's really just fun, of course, but I do see that they are not subscribed yet. So if you are subscribed now, press that button. Subscribe and also give a thumbs up. I am almost at 5,000 subscribers, so that is really great. And soon, if I definitely reach 5,000, then I will absolutely do a really fun giveaway. So I would definitely say, absolutely subscribe. Okay, I am now absolutely, completely and thoroughly done shredding the chicken breast. This was exactly 400 grams, weighing approximately 400 grams in total. So it is, well, as you might already know, quite a bit, actually, indeed. But as you might expect, that is only nice for filling, of course. And here we have, indeed, of course, broth from the chicken and the carrot. I'm going to put that back in here in the, what do you call that? Measuring cup, because I had 800 ml at first, and now it has become 600 ml, so that is enough. Okay, so what I am going to do is I will just take the pan away, and then I will proceed to grab a larger pan for our cooking needs. To begin with, let's proceed to make the delicious and savory ragu. Initially, what do you need for this recipe? You will require approximately 3 tablespoons of sunflower oil, which is essential for cooking. This oil is crucial for achieving the desired flavor and texture in your dish. I'm just doing about, let me think for a brief moment. I just believe that is approximately about 3 tablespoons, or maybe around that amount, give or take or so. What goes in first? The onions. We are going to saute the onions first. Wait until it thickens a bit, now that we are waiting anyway. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that button, and also don't forget to hit the like button, of course. And I'm almost at 5,000 subscribers, so that's really great. I haven't posted a video in a long time, but it's just almost at 5K, of course. Really nice to have. And when I reach 5,000, I will give away some really nice little prizes. I'm not sponsored or anything, but honestly speaking, I must say, I just really, truly, genuinely enjoy, absolutely, indeed, very much, my subscribers. I like to give away fun prizes because I also enjoy participating in giveaways, so a really very exciting and fun giveaway is coming very soon. Let's take a moment to check if the temperature has risen to a comfortable level. I have a feeling that it might already be warm enough for us to proceed with our plans. So, those are going in, and I'm going to saute them until they are a bit softer. And then flour goes in. We are going to bake the flour in just a little while, and it really needs to be cooked just a little bit more, so please be very patient as it is important. You can smell all those onions, it's so delicious. Too bad it's not smell-o-vision of scent computer laptop. I don't know where you're looking now, but I always find fried onions. I always find it absolutely, definitely smells so good. Oh, this was 1 onion and now 100 grams of flour goes in. We are also going to properly and thoroughly cook the flour well. Look, it sticks completely to the onions. So the flour is, in my opinion, well cooked. And then I take the cooked one. I will thoroughly clean it with a ladle and carefully. And now I take the broth. I will mix it better with my better. Now I turn the heat down a bit. Then it becomes a kind of roux, a very thick sauce. Then you actually mix the flour with the broth slowly and carefully, little by little, gradually ensuring it is well combined. If you still see a few lumps, that's not a problem at all. And then finally the last bit's in. To begin the process of mixing, we first ensure that all the ingredients are ready and properly measured. We start by adding the salt, which is crucial for enhancing the flavors of the dish. Next, we incorporate the white pepper, which adds a subtle heat and depth to the overall taste. Following that, we add nutmeg, a spice known for its warm and slightly sweet flavor, which complements the other ingredients beautifully. Additionally, sugar is added to balance the flavors and provide a hint of sweetness. Once all these ingredients are in, I switch to using a ladle to mix everything thoroughly. This ensures that the spices are evenly distributed throughout the mixture. At this point, I also have a small piece of nutmeg on hand, which I will grate and add to the mixture for an extra burst of flavor. This careful attention to detail in the mixing process is what makes the dish truly special. Now then, the chicken goes in. Then we will put everything in. The fresh, vibrant orange carrots, known for their crisp texture and sweet flavor, are a staple in many dishes. Alongside them, the crunchy green celery stalks, which are often used for their refreshing taste and health benefits, play a crucial role in enhancing the overall flavor profile of the meal. This is not actually the celery, so this is indeed what you might call flat celery. So not the celery. We are going to mix that. And then I also have the cream here as the last ingredient. We will just add 250 milliliters of cream, and we will just simply mix that together gently and carefully until it becomes a very nice, beautiful, and creamy sauce. And then I will taste it. A little taste. I find it quite tasty. Some people like it sweet, so you can add all that sugar, and others just like it savory. You can also completely skip the sugar. That is of course possible too. But I personally find it tastier with sugar, so I just added 2 tablespoons of sugar. But some people find it tastier when it's sweeter. So that is of course possible. So you are completely free to adjust it to your own taste, in your own, yes, basically whatever you want. It tastes really good, but you really need to taste the nutmeg well. It is really delicious and adds a unique flavor to the dish. The aroma of the nutmeg enhances the overall taste experience. Bubbles are rising, so that means it is ready to be served. I will turn it off now, and then we will carefully put this in the bowl here to cool down for a few minutes, allowing the flavors to meld together. Well, this is the risotto. The risotto recipe is one of the favorites among my family and friends. And I also regularly receive messages in the Instagram DMs asking, when are you going to make risoles? Can you share the risoles recipe? But now finally, I am going to make it. And of course, there are also different types of risoles, but this is the risoles as I have always known it from my grandmother and my mother. So this is actually a family recipe. Now you guys know the secret. And I am actually curious if you all, do you actually know these Indonesian snacks, the risoles? So if you don't know them or have never tasted them, let me know in the comments. And if you make them, also let me know in the comments. And post it on Instagram, tag me, let it be known, let a lot of people know. Because everyone just has to taste this, it's just delicious. Oh yes, and if you are of course vegetarian, you can just skip that chicken. And then you can also add vegetables. For example, peas instead of chicken. So that is of course also possible. All of that. And if you have questions about other snacks, let me know in the comments as well. If you have a wish, there is now of course a whole list of what I need to make. But that doesn't matter. I'll add it to the list and then I'll make it. So the filling, the delicious filling is ready, and I'm going to let it cool down for a bit and actually also firm up in the fridge, because then I find it easier to make those packages later, to make those risoles. So I will let this cool in the fridge for a bit. I think at least an hour, then it will be completely cooled down. In the second part, we will make the flanges, the pancakes. Yes, pancakes. Or what do the French always call them? Crepes, right? Those very thin pancakes. So we are going to make that. And now I will let this cool down and put it in the refrigerator. So the filling has now cooled down. I took it out of the refrigerator. I will set that aside for now, and now we will continue with the pancakes. And what do you need? That is 500 milliliters of milk. It can be whole milk or I have semi-skimmed milk now, 500 milliliters. I have 200 grams of flour here. This is the kind of secret. This is tapioca flour. I only use 1 tablespoon of it. And this is salt, half a teaspoon, 2 eggs, and 1 tablespoon of oil. And if you can't find tapioca flour, because I got it, we're at an Asian supermarket. But yes, if you are at an Appy or another supermarket jumbo and you can't find tapioca flour, you can just use cornstarch. That's also an option to replace the tapioca flour, so to speak. All right, well then let's continue. Then we will actually just throw everything into the bowl. The high-quality all-purpose flour, the carefully granulated tapioca, the salt, and the 2 fresh organic eggs. Now I'm going to mix slowly and carefully, just a little bit more, and then the milk will be added. You can do it little by little, but I will do it all at once. Of course, you can do this with a mixer, but I'm being tough with the whisk. That way, I don't have to go to the gym tomorrow. So, mix everything. In the meantime, I am warming up the pan. By the way, it's handy, hey, to use a non-stick pan, as you will make some pancakes. It is of course handy to use a non-stick pan, because you are going to make pancakes, of course. And if it sticks a bit more, that's not handy. Let's see if it's ready more carefully and thoroughly before proceeding further. Almost. Just add a spoon. And sometimes you see some lumps. You can just break them down like this. A bit softer. And with this recipe, I can make about, I think, 20 pancakes. But we will take a look at that in a moment. This over here. Then I have here a kind of ladle or a sauce spoon. Oh yes, almost forgot. I also add a tablespoon of oil so it doesn't stick. And for the first pancake, I usually use a brush to spread the oil like this, and then I put it in the pan. You can hear that the pan is already hot, so that it is sure not to stick. So, a soup spoon. I put it in and then I immediately start flipping so that it actually becomes a nice pancake. Sorry for that beeping, that's coming from my stove. Normally I do it back there, but yes, it's a bit difficult to look at the camera. Yes, so I just used one soup spoon, but if you don't have a soup spoon then, an ice cream scoop is also fine. As long as you have some kind of a variety of measuring spoons, you'll have pancakes of the same size. You can actually see when the edges start to curl that you can very easily and safely pick it up. Then I actually take it when you see that, okay, here it's not curling and there it is. Then I actually take it from that side and then from the bottom. Then you can also turn it like this. And what I generally speaking do is, when it is absolutely and completely ready, look. I just take the item here once more, carefully placing it in the designated spot, and then I proceed to insert the next one, ensuring that it forms a perfect, aesthetically pleasing circle. After a brief moment, it emits a beep sound, signaling that it's time to pause momentarily. At this point, you can actually pick up the spoon, which is used to scoop the filling. Typically, the amount required is about a tablespoon, a full and heaping tablespoon to be precise. Then, you can fold it in this particular manner. And voila, you have created an risoles. Meanwhile, I turn my attention to the pancake, which is an integral part of the process, ensuring that it is cooked to perfection and ready to be served alongside the risoles. But it's how you find it easier. You can also just make the pancakes until you have a stack and then fill them. That is also possible. But I thought I would show you right here and now exactly how to fold, step by step, the process carefully. I will demonstrate to you in detail the method of folding and then proceed to the next one. From the middle, and then you start to twist a bit like this. And then in the meantime, I will continue with the filling. It can be a little, well, that wasn't really a full tablespoon. I'll add that. But it should, of course, be well filled. Well, you start with the bottom and then right, left. And then you actually fold it in half again. And then I try to make them the same size. But yes, sometimes the other one is bigger or wider. That doesn't matter at all. Let's see. Then I'm going to turn this one again. And that only takes a very short time. If you can handle the heat, you can also use your finger. Look, because it curls up like this. Then you can just grab this. And then you place it like this on your cutting board. But if you have a steady hand, then that's easier. Look at the next weather. Look, if it is not round at all, that is of course not a problem. Because it doesn't have to be perfect, of course. As long as it tastes good. My mother always says that too. It doesn't have to be perfect, as long as it tastes good. We have now made quite a few risolles. I kept going. And this is the last one. And let me see, I'm going to count now. I think I have about 22 now. Oh no, 23 with this last one. So from this recipe, 23 pieces were made. But you have a little bit left over. But that's okay. Better too much than too little, my mother always says. And if you have some left over, you can of course freeze it, or you just keep it in the fridge, or you eat it with bread. That's also really nice with toast, or with a cracker. That's also super tasty. Or you make half a recipe of the pancakes. That can also be done. There, and let me see. Yes, I think it's now 23 pieces, so that's quite a lot. And the next step is we will bread with egg and breadcrumbs, and then we will fry. So I have, of course, made the little pans, and I also prepared the filling, and I just couldn't count that. So, correction, it was not 22, but... Oh no, I first said 23. Yes, 23, but it was 25 pieces. So now I will bread this stack now and then fry. And I will put the rest in the fridge, but it has to be in the fridge because it contains whipped cream, of course. So, yes, that needs to be kept cool. And so, tomorrow, when the children come home from school, they are always hungry. And then I always bread and then fry. And also, once it is fried, you can, of course, put it in the air fryer or in the oven if you no longer feel like frying in oil, so to speak. Then that is also an option in the air fryer or in the oven to heat. That is also nice. Then it becomes nice and crispy again. And yes, so we continue with the breading. I have here 2 eggs and about, let's say, 200 grams of breadcrumbs. I will prepare that on the plate. 2 pieces. Just whisk it. All right. And then I actually just place it on this side, because then it is now the order in which you will fry. And then I have a plate with paper towels ready at the end to catch the oil. And let me see. I will set it a bit higher. All right? And then I actually start, you can just do it by hand. I usually use my right hand to get it wet, so to speak, and I keep my left hand dry. And then I can just add the breadcrumbs, so to speak. Let's see. Look, with my right hand. Then I dip the risolles in the egg, and then I usually make a kind of cold, and then the risolles go in there, and then I kind of bury them with the breadcrumbs using my left hand, and then the ends. And I think, let me check with the breadcrumbs. Let me see if it's already warm. It is already warm. And I think I can fry about 3 or 4 at a time. So I set it aside for a moment, and then I will continue with the next one. So with my right hand, I do the egg mixture, and with my left arm, the breadcrumbs. The oil is mostly warm. One more. And the baking process actually goes quite fast because, well, everything is already cooked, but you just want that crispy layer. The baking process is quite fast because everything is already cooked. You just need to achieve a crispy layer. So when it turns a beautiful golden brown color, it's actually good and ready to be served. All right. And we will carefully place it in the oven like this. Bake it slowly and patiently until it becomes a perfect golden brown. In the meantime, I will just continue breading the risoles. But yes, you should also occasionally check the oil a little. I can still make a bit of a mess, but it doesn't matter. It's just breadcrumbs. And so check if it turns a beautiful golden brown, then we can turn it right away. All right? If all goes well, this one is perfectly ready. Let's take a quick peek. Yes, it is absolutely perfect. Now you can gently take them out. Beautiful and delicious risoles. Look how incredibly nice they are. They just look really delicious. Then we will go straight to the next batch, and this time I will do 4 at once, simultaneously. So if you have a nice large pan, it's just so much easier. In the meantime, I will do the others the same as before. With your right hand, the egg mixture, and with your left hand, you will carefully bread the risoles well. And then the next one follows. So the risoles are ready, and I will nicely place them on a plate with, of course, a nice fresh banana leaf. This is, yes, often requested, and the risoles is definitely a kind of #1 snack that many people ask for. And yes, this is it. Ta-da! And yes, don't forget to subscribe and, of course, like. And if you think, well, that person really likes the risoles and they should make it, or you're going to make it for that person, that's possible too. I would say give it a try. And if you make it, tag me on Instagram. Or let me know. Let me know in the comments below what you think of it. And also, yes, if you think, well, Mega, you should make a different snack next year. Or because my favorite is lumper or koelapis, also let me know in the comments. And I'm going to enjoy my risoles now. And I would say, give it a try and see you next time. Bye.